SCP-261 Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. Any access to SCP-261 must be approved by staff with Level 2 security clearance or higher. Any and all items dispensed by SCP-261 must be recorded, along with the amount of money entered and the amount of time elapsed between uses. Currently, SCP-261 may be only used 10 times in a 24-hour period, with no transaction exceeding the equivalent of 500 Japanese yen. Testing approved by Site Command is not under these restrictions. Items dispensed by SCP-261 should be reviewed by Site Health and Safety officials before consumption. Failure to do so releases the Foundation from any obligation regarding negative effects. Items deemed dangerous or useful to research will be confiscated by Site Security, with financial compensation provided in proportion to money spent. Description: SCP-261 appears to be a large black vending machine with no front glass panel and a small keypad on the right side. SCP-261 was recovered in Yokohama, Japan. SCP-261 was brought to the Foundation's attention after investigation of an urban legend about a magic vending machine that was circulating on the internet. SCP-261 was found in a back alley behind a large shopping center with a handwritten sign saying "out of order" in Japanese taped to it. SCP-261 has no marks of identification of any kind, and no locals remember when or how it came to be in its current location. Internally, SCP-261 appears to be a basic vending machine equipped to vend food and beverage items. After a key was made and the front door opened, no abnormal materials were found, and it was determined that SCP-261 has never actually contained food or beverage items. The keypad, while connected and operating currently, does not activate any of the dispensing mechanisms. When money is placed into SCP-261 and a 3-digit number is entered on the keypad, SCP-261 will vend a random item. SCP-261 has not accepted any known currency other than yen, with rejected currency being deposited in the coin return slot. It is unknown how these items appear. However, SCP-261 will not operate when the door is open or when recording devices are placed inside. The number entered on the keypad has no effect on the item vended, nor has any pattern been detected. Items are always some form of snack food, and typically have bright, attention-grabbing packaging. SCP-261 is capable of operating with no external power supply, but operation in this state will cause unstable vending to occur much more quickly than normal. If SCP-261 is used several times in a short period of time and/or large amounts of money are entered before an item are vended, SCP-261 will start to dispense bizarre items. While still food, their suitability for human consumption is often non-existent. Log of items vended during testing phase 8. 800 yen was entered for each item, items being dispensed every 2 minutes. SCP-261 is attached to power. Number 1. Coke Zero. A can of Diet Coke, packaging in English. Cheetos. A small bag of Cheetos snack food, packaging in English. Black. A single pack of caffeinated chewing gum, packaging in Japanese. Yan. A single yan cone with peach dipping frosting, packaging in Japanese. The Meiji Sake Company does not produce this flavor. Pepsi Dragon Twist. A can of Pepsi Cola with a trace of fruit flavor, packaging in English. Flavor identified as dragon fruit. PepsiCo does not produce this product. Dark Side Cola. A can with clear plastic sides, packaging in Japanese. Liquid inside is clear. When opened, liquid appears to react to the air and changes to a dark black color over a period of several seconds. The black coloration looks like billowing smoke and cannot be reversed. Liquid's taste described as cola with something spicy in it. The Little Bakery 7 Green. A small tube the size of a candy bar with a green button, made of aluminum, packaging in English. When the top is twisted off, a massive dough is extruded. dough contains several enzymes and bacteria that have not been yet identified. On contact with air, these cause the dough to rise and bake, killing the microbes in the process. Produces a small, round loaf of bread weighing 250 grams. Taste described as good, but chewy. Lemon clams. Thick plastic baggie with a plastic tube on the side containing water and 12 clams, packaging in Dutch. Following on-package instructions, the plastic tube is cracked like a glow stick. Liquid in the bag flashed to steam, venting from a hole that popped open in the top of the bag, slightly burning one researcher. Steaming finished after 38 seconds, after which clams were found to be fully cooked and infused with a mild lemon flavor. On investigation, clams matched no recorded species. Unknown. Small mesh bag filled with small, multicolored pyramids, packaging in an unknown language. Pyramids found to be very hard and unpleasant tasting, compared to chalk in taste and consistency. When placed in hot water, pyramids open and produce strings that quickly dissolve, coloring the water the same shade as the pyramid. Water had no additional taste, but testing revealed a sharp increase in mineral, carbohydrate, and protein content, with several minerals being unidentified at the present time. The content was found to be consistent with the recommended daily intake of nutrients for adult humans. Research ingesting the water reported stomach cramps for 2 hours later, but no other effects. Unknown. Aluminum box with a small glass window on the side, a large round button on the top, packaging in an unknown language. Box is seamless and appears to be filled with small round animals colored in fur, each with 3 small paws and a single large eye. Pressing the button causes the inside of the box to rapidly become superheated, cooking the animals alive. Muffled noises and scratching were heard for several seconds during the cooking process. After 1 minute 30 seconds, the front panel opens and gives access to the now cooked animals. Professor Kane volunteered to eat the animals, but no researchers will do so. Taste described as crunchy and very spicy, with a small hint of beef. Unknown. Tall, thin aluminum can, packaging in unknown language. Opening the can caused a chemical reaction with the liquid inside the can. Liquid was apparently not intended for an oxygenated atmosphere, and detonated violently, causing several injuries and killing 2 researchers. Testing discontinued and area cleared. Testing area observed to smell like citrus for several days. SCP-291. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-291 must remain disconnected from any power source when not in use for testing. A team of 2 personnel should remain on guard outside 291's containment room, and will be swapped out weekly. While disconnected from power supply, 291 may be considered safe. 291's main entryway closes and locks upon disconnection from power supply, but the door may be opened manually from the interior in the event of any personnel being trapped. All blocks of disassembled organism are to be kept stored in a designated storage locker within the containment room, and are not to be properly labeled with a Sharpie marker. Personnel responsible for lost or damaged blocks will be removed to other projects. Description: SCP-291 is located in SCP-291 resembles a small building and structure, a nearly featureless steel box measuring 10.5 meters by 30.2 meters at the base and 15 meters tall. On one of the narrow sides there is a large door, 5 meters wide, that opens upwards similar to a garage door, composed of metal slats a few inches high each. There is no handle on the exterior of the door, and while closed, all attempts to open it using non-destructive methods have failed. The interior of the door features a lock that can be opened manually to lift the door for a few seconds before an unknown mechanism will force it shut again. At the other end of 291 is a small opening with a lock and a handle on the exterior and interior, allowing the door to be opened from either side. 2 small similar hatches, only 1 meter by 1 meter, can be found to the left of both doors, and may be opened from the exterior. The materials that compose 291 do not appear to be as strong as any other examples would suggest, and a force that would normally bend or cut through steel will do the same to 291. Such testing is currently not allowed due to the risk of damaging 291. The interior of SCP-291 is not well explored due to the extremely tight confines of the machinery and the strong pulses of electromagnetic energy through various points while activated. When connected to a suitable power source, SCP-291 activates and mechanical clanks and buzzing and a large entryway for the door springs open. The room inside is 4 meters by 2 meters, with a rather simple console board, a large display screen, and what has been described as a plexiglass coffin to one side, suitable in size for most humans under 2.13 meters, 7 feet, in height, who are not or morbidly obese. The coffin rests on a conveyor belt a meter in height, the coffin itself being approximately a meter deep, a blue-green gel cushion of unidentified material lining the bottom. It has been described as pleasantly form-fitting and very cool and soft. Several tubes emerge from the sides of the room over the coffin. Opposite of the coffin, a number of cubbyholes of various sizes with small doors that may be opened or closed are present on the wall. Their purpose shall be elaborated upon later. When a living person or animal is laid in a coffin, dead organisms with a mass of less than 1.6 kilograms, and a group of multiple organisms trigger no reaction. No matter their position, the control room moves into the ready state. In this state, the display screen shows a scanned, grid-lined image of the organism in the coffin, and the buttons on the console board become operable. Some of the smaller buttons will trigger different events in the displayed image, such as toggling the skin and muscles of the display on and off, and revealing certain organs and organ systems, whether in real time or frozen depending on more settings. There are no words, numbers, or symbols on the display of any kind, and all buttons have 2 settings: on, in which they glow, and off, in which they are unlit. Various combinations produce different effects, and Dr. Wrights has been kind enough to spend enough time playing with it to work up a crude user's manual. 3 large buttons, visibly different from any controls of the display, are available to the side. Providing that a living organism is lying in the coffin, the first button may be pressed. Pressing any buttons under any other circumstances yields no effect, and the button remains off no matter how many times pressed. And the tubes extending over the coffin dispense a blue liquid inside the coffin. This unidentified liquid acts as a sedative upon skin contact, and the occupant of the coffin quickly falls unconscious. The liquid can apparently be inhaled and swallowed without any harm. D-class personnel have reported the taste to be similar to Kool-Aid. Samples have yielded literal results in identification. Once the coffin is filled to the brim, the liquid quickly congeals into a thick syrup and then into a solid gel. Over this period, the occupant's detectable body functions, such as breathing and heartbeat, cease. This may be observed on a display screen. Once the liquid fully solidifies, the display screen shuts off and the conveyor belt starts to move. All attempts to stop the conveyor belt and remove either the coffin or the occupant causes the entire process to shut down, after which the blue liquid evaporates within a few minutes and the subject regains consciousness unharmed. The conveyor belt carries the coffin and the occupant through a small door, which quickly locks closed, and the entire machine becomes a cacophony of mechanical clinking, whirring, and grinding. The display screen will only display a rectangle that slowly fills, like a loading bar, as SCP-291 does its work. Depending on the size of the organism, 291 finishes its as-of-yet unknown process in approximately 20 to 30 minutes, at which point the product can be retrieved at the opposite end of 291. The back door of SCP-291 leads to a similar chamber, also containing a conveyor belt similar to the one that holds the coffin in the entryway. There is also a series of 24 cubbyholes or lockers identical to those found in the entry room. These cubbyholes may be pulled out to retrieve their contents, parts of the organism, disassembled and preserved in blocks of an unidentified clear solid. These blocks are quite strong, but they can be melted by extremely high temperatures, or shattered by sharp blows from a pick. However, breaking the block ruins the preservation method of 291 and results in the preserved object being unusable. The rest of the block quickly begins to dissolve into dust after a few minutes. Whole blocks, however, may be stored indefinitely until be reinserted into 291 via the cubbyholes in the entrance room. Each block has a distinct size and will only fit snugly in its designed cubbyhole. Placing blocks in the wrong holes gets no reaction from the machine and will prevent it from being reactivated until the problem is fixed. Cubbies may be left empty, however, and will function as normal. It is ill-advised to leave a cubbyhole containing a vital organ empty. When blocks are placed correctly and the doors to them are shut, the second button on the console may be pressed. This does not work if the display shows a loading bar as another operation is taking place. These doors to the cubbyholes lock for a few seconds, during which 291 removes them through some means, and the machinery of the device grows louder, accompanied by another loading bar on which the display screen. Reassembly takes slightly longer, approximately 40 to 50 minutes to finish, after which a plexiglass container, similar to the initial coffin, emerges from a door on the conveyor belt in the exit room, holding a fully assembled organism immersed in blue liquid that slowly evaporates as the organism wakes. Reassembled organisms have no memory of the process, likening the experience to a very restful, dreamless sleep. When they awake, they complain about being very hungry. Tests reveal that they are reassembled with their stomachs empty. Organisms are also reassembled nude and devoid of any hair. A block containing what has been identified as the contents of the organism's digestive system, hair, scraps of clothing, and any other objects on the organism is deposited into one of the small side doors outside the main doors and may be considered waste. Surveillance and scanning equipment set inside the machine is disposed of in the same way, often twisted and wrecked. Later testing revealed that the organisms can be assembled in different, possibly malicious ways. See addendum for testing results. The third testing revealed that the organisms can... Oh wait, I just wrote that. Third button is to be only used should something go wrong, where the production stops and the button blinks. It undoes whatever has been done, to the best it can, and shuts down the whole process while triggering some kind of cleaning and resetting method. Addendum. Blocks are clear, therefore the organisms and body parts contained within may be easily identified and observed. The body is divided up like such: brains, lungs and diaphragm, heart, digestive system, reproductive organs, left eye, right eye, upper left torso and arm musculature up to the elbow and various organs, upper right torso and arm musculature up to the elbow and various organs, lower left torso and upper leg musculature and various organs, lower right torso and upper leg musculature and various organs, lower left leg and foot, lower right leg and foot, lower left arm and hand, lower right arm and hand, neck and head musculature and various organs, skeletal system from mid-spine up, skeletal system from mid-spine down, lymphatic and circulatory system from waist up, lymphatic and circulatory system from waist down, skin neatly folded. Testing results. Reassembling a body without vital organs results in the production shutting down, requiring the use of a third button. The body will be redeposited in the lock while at the exit still inert. Reassembling a body without vital organs or body parts will result in that organ or body part being absent when the organism awakes, the wounds sealed by unknown means that leave little to no scar tissue. Providing a body part for a missing body part will result in said body part being attached to its new body seemingly without fail. It is proved effective for heart transplants, limb transplants, and exchanging skin from one person to another. Swapping the brains of two people results in a complete transfer of that person's personality and memories, and may be reversed, although subjects often feel very disoriented for several days and complain of psychological and physical discomfort, like wearing shoes not quite the right size. Swapping body parts has been different species has yielded mixed results. Dr. Wrights has suggested that testing continue and the request is pending. Only 3 successful cross-species transfers have occurred out of the 20 tests performed so far. Number 1. A cat's left eye has been swapped out for a human's left eye. The subject could use the eye fully and mentioned that they felt adapted to it rather well. Their new left eye has displayed all the abilities of a cat's eye, including difficulty seeing colors right and the heightened perception in the dark. Although this test was unauthorized, the results were considered mildly impressive enough to allow further testing. The cat, given a human eye, clawed its human eye out in a week. The human's brain was successfully transferred into the body of an English Mastiff, reportedly thanks to the dog's large skull size. He requested to be transferred back to his human body as soon as possible, though. The Mastiff, in a human's body, learned to walk upright within a few hours and was disassembled again after an incident involving the humiliation of a female doctor. Number 16. The female Class D personnel had her reproductive organs switched with those of a pregnant Labrador Retriever. No tests involving using SCP-291 with other SCPs has yet been authorized. SCP-2197 Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Because neither SCP-2197 nor the lot on which it is built are recorded on any official documents, the Foundation has been able to effectively assume legal ownership of SCP-2197 by purchasing the buildings on either side of it, the lots of which legally encompass SCP-2197's location. A small contingent of the Foundation personnel have been permanently assigned to manage these properties, a small filling station with an automotive repair shop and a 5-unit motor lodge. Civilian motorists lured into the proximity of SCP-2197 are to be intercepted by these personnel and given whatever assistance they need in order to leave the area. Once a week, a D-Class personnel wearing a remote surveillance kit is to enter SCP-2197, engage in conversation with SCP-2197-1, and make a purchase. Due to the local residents' length of exposure to 2197 and their habitual reticence regarding it, mass administration of anesthetics has been ruled out. See Ethics Committee Report 2197-901. As residents have observed Foundation personnel steering visitors away from 2197, they have become increasingly accepting and even friendly towards the members of the permanent contingent. These social relationships are to be used in conjunction with the monitoring of mail and electronic communications in order to identify and isolate individuals who pose an unacceptable risk to containment. Description: SCP-2197 is a 1-story structure located in Maine, an unincorporated township between U.S. Route 1 and the Atlantic coast. The words Anziano's Curio shop are etched in stylized lettering on a huge storefront window, displaying what appear to be various second-hand goods. Individuals traveling by motor vehicle in or near it experience a greater than expected rate of mechanical difficulties, GPS malfunctions, flat tires, unexpectedly low fuel, and loss of cellular reception. Affected motorists frequently seek assistance in 2197, and while delayed, they often enter the store, and due to its location between the township's only mechanic and its only lodgings, residents of the town and the surrounding area do not appear to experience these travel-related difficulties and will sometimes obliquely warn those away from 2197. Those entering 2197 are greeted by a humanoid entity resembling a stooped elderly man in a leather apron, designated SCP-2197-1. The entity will introduce itself as Mr. Anziano, engage in small talk, and encourage the visitor to browse the store. If an individual expresses interest in an item, 297-1 will speak highly of the effort involved in its manufacturing and the good characteristics of its maker, often remarking that he tried his best. Most items purchased from a shop display anomalous properties. Somewhere on each item, typically the back, underside, or interior, is a small, single glyph, written in a hemoglobin-like substance, the design of which differs from item to item. Foundation linguists have concluded that the glyphs are backwards renderings of the first, second, third, fourth, and sixth letters of the Aramaic alphabet. Some glyphs are appended with a plus or minus sign. The permanent contingent in the town has compiled a representative sample of items purchased by D-Class personnel from SCP-2197. SCP-2197-5. Description: a small, green Western Electric Model 2500 landline telephone, which rings from 1 to 6 times a month, regardless of whether it is connected to an active phone jack. If an individual picks up the receiver, a staticky voice resembling that of a young girl will whisper, 7 days, and the call will disconnect. Exactly 7 days later, whatever phone happens to be closest to the subject will ring. If the subject answers, an identical voice will whisper, it's been 7 days, and the call will disconnect. No further effects have been noted. SCP-2197-10. An irregularly shaped concave object with several notches in its outer rim, apparently made out of clay containing flecks of ash. When any individual with a history of tobacco use who has not consumed any form of tobacco since the last full moon comes within approximately 6 meters of the item, a lit cigarette emerges from the item and slides into one of the notches, with the filter side pointed towards the individual. The cigarettes are reported to possess an intensely unpleasant smell and taste. Approximately 65 test subjects who smoked the cigarette required hospitalization for sulfur dioxide poisoning. In all such subjects, the traumatic experience has caused an extreme aversion to subsequent tobacco use. SCP-2197-13. A poorly constructed birdhouse with no known anomalous properties. 2917-16. A small antique desk lamp operated by a toggle switch at its base, with the on and off positions labeled. When operated by an individual unfamiliar with the lamp, the functioning of the switch is reversed so that the off position turns the lamp on and vice versa. Once a particular user becomes accustomed to the reverse function, the switch begins to operate correctly. The process repeats each time the user forms an ingrained habit regarding on how to operate the switch. 2917-22. 2 unadorned 20 cm by 60 cm pieces of sheet metal sold together as bookends. Each one has 2 90-degree bends equidistant along its longer axis, forming a squared U shape resembling 3 sides of a cube. When one of the items is picked up, it begins to grow in size, doubling in volume every 10 seconds, until it becomes too heavy or too unwieldy for the subject to hold. Upon the subject dropping it, the item instantly reverts to its original size. Holding both pieces at the same time or fitting them together into a cube appears to produce no additional effect. 2197-25. A 32-page coloring book. The picture on each page is a rainbow and/or unicorn themed. Any individual who fully colors in at least one page of the book experiences increased good luck thereafter, as confirmed by Foundation statisticians using a random number generator. Within a week of coloring in the page, the subject invariably meets an ideal romantic partner and enters into a long-term relationship. On both occasions, which D-Class personnel were used to test the item, an unusual confluence of events led to the subject escaping the Foundation custody shortly before scheduled termination, along with a D-Class of the opposite sex with whom the subject had recently formed an attachment. SCP-2197-27. Description: an item which appears to have a normal wooden Curio block, aged but in good condition, until it is mounted to a wall of a structure owned by the purchaser, in which point it will reveal its true form and cannot be removed short of demolishing the wall on which it is mounted. The cuckoo clock is made from a human head, neck, and chest cavity, apparently all still living, with a brass pendulum and a clock face. The lungs have been removed and the ribs spread to display the swinging pendulum inside the chest cavity. which has short blades designed to pierce the individual sides with every swing. The clock face is wedged in the mouth, the jaw having been stretched open to accommodate it. The eyes constantly dart about, and grunts of pain may be heard from the throat. At the top of every hour, the pendulum and clock face rapidly heat to unidentified amounts, causing the throat to emit cries of pain reminiscent of the sounds of a non-anomalous cuckoo clock. The number of cries has been observed to be consistently appropriate to the hour struck.